Yo, righto. Give more to get more. Bring the full tithes into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house, and thereby put me to the test, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open the windows of heaven for you and pour down for you an overflowing blessing. Malachi 3:10, Revised Standard Version of the Bible. I don't really know what that means. Tithing, that is, giving 10% of your earnings to the work of God, is one of the best guarantees of prosperity ever known. Many of the world's richest individuals and most successful people have been devout tithers. By tithing regularly, you too can put in motion God's universal force, bringing you continual abundance. Not only does it serve others, but it serves you as the giver too. The benefits cross all religious boundaries and serve those of every faith, because the simple act of giving both creates spiritual alliance with the God of abundance and fosters the mindset of love for others. Tithing proves in a compelling way that abundant wealth is something God wants for his children. In fact, he created a world where the more successful you are, the more wealth there is for everyone to share. An increase in wealth for an individual almost always represents an increase in wealth for society at large. The tithing plan that Chicken Soup cooked up. Tithing has certainly played a huge part in my success and the success of Chicken Soup for the Soul series. Ever since the first book in the series, we've tied the portion of the profits to non-profit organizations that were dedicated to healing the sick, feeding the hungry, housing the homeless, empowering the disempowered, educating the uneducated, and saving the environment. Along with our publisher and co-authors, we've given away millions of dollars to more than 100 organizations, including the Red Cross, YWCA, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Since 1993, we've planted over 250,000 trees at Yellowstone National Park with the National Arbor Day Foundation, underwritten the cost of building homes for the homeless with Habitat for Humanity, fed the hungry of the world with Feed the Children, and prevented thousands of teen suicides through Yellow Ribbon International. We feel so blessed by all that we have been given that we want to give back. We also strongly believe that everything we give away comes back multiplied many times over. We also tithe a portion of our personal income to our churches and other spiritual, missionary, and service organizations that uplift humanity through doing God's work. One of the most exciting projects we've been involved in was the distribution of 100,000 free copies of Chicken Soup for the Prisoner's Soul to people incarcerated in our prisons. The book was never intended for distribution in the general population, but it was so successful that it soon received thousands of requests from family members, correctional officers, and prison ministries to make copies of the book available for them. What started out strictly as a philanthropic endeavor turned into another successful Chicken Soup book in the bookstores, and another example of how good works come back to you multiplied. There are different types of tithing. There are two kinds of tithing. Financial tithing is best explained as contributing 10% of your gross income to the organization from whence you derive your spiritual guidance or whose philanthropic work you want to support. Time tithing is volunteering your time to serve your church, temple, or synagogue, or any charity that could use your help. There are currently more than 18,000 charities in the United States alone that need volunteers. His life turned around as soon as he started tithing. Nature gives all without reservation and loses nothing. Man or woman, grasping all, loses everything. James Allen, author of Path of Prosperity. I like that quote. Robert Allen, best-selling author of Nothing Down and The 1 Minute Millionaire, didn't always tithe, but after he'd lost everything and was down to zero, he said to himself, wait a second, I've had so much money in my life. I'm supposed to be a guru who teaches people how to become rich. Where's it all gone? I must have done something wrong. Eventually, Bob worked his way back to prosperity, but along the way, he learned a valuable lesson. Either I believe in tithing, he said to himself, or I don't. If I believe it, I'm going to tithe every week. I'm going to figure out what our income is that week and write my check that week. As he became a dedicated tither, suddenly a whole new world opened up for him. Though his debts were almost insurmountable, he became more grateful for what he had. Soon, new opportunities started flowing to him. Today, Bob says he has so much opportunity it would take him 10 lifetimes to tap into it. He believes it's that way for all dedicated tithers. But even more telling than his own story is how he inspires others to tithe. He recalls one woman who approached him and complained, "My husband and I can't tithe. We can barely make our mortgage payment. Our lifestyle costs us $5,000 a month. There's not enough money left over at the end of the month." Bob admonished her, saying, "You don't tithe because you want to get something. You tithe because you've already gotten it. You're so blessed already. There's no way in the world you'll be able to repay it. There are 6 billion people on the face of the earth, and nearly 8 billion now, who would give their left lung to trade places with you. You tithe out of the gratitude you feel for the unbelievable blessings and lifestyle you have." Bob never expects a thing when he tithes, because he now realizes the windows of heaven have already opened to him. He tithes because he's already received the blessings. Corporations too can reap the rewards of giving back. William H. George, the chairman and CEO of Medtronic, recently revealed to a Minneapolis conference on philanthropy how his company had committed to giving 2% of their pre-tax profits. Although these tithes amounted to only $1.5 million in the beginning, the company's 11-year growth streak of 23% per year enabled them to boost their giving to $17 million in 1 year alone. Perhaps the most impressive recent acts of giving have been the $1 billion grant by Ted Turner to the United Nations and $7 billion grants made by Bill and Melinda Gates through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. However, you don't have to be a corporation or super wealthy to give back to the community. Any contribution, whether it is in time or in money, will make a difference to the recipients and to you, both in the good feelings you'll experience and expanded flow of abundance streaming into your life. Share the wealth. Money is like manure. If you spread it around, it does a lot of good. But if you pile it up in one place, it stinks like hell. That's a good quote. When you engage others in your success, when you share the wealth with them, more work gets done, greater success is achieved, and ultimately everyone benefits more. The key to the success of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series was our decision to involve more co-authors in the process. Though Mark and I received smaller royalties, 30 or 40 cents a book instead of 60 cents, it allowed us to complete more titles, get more media coverage, and sell more books. There's no way the two of us could have compiled, edited, written, and promoted 80 books by ourselves. We started out as a collaboration of 2 authors and 2 secretaries, grew to a staff of 12 with 2 editors, several consulting editors, 2 additional assistants, and permission specialists, a marketing director, a licensing director, new project director, several secretaries, and a group of 75 co-authors and almost 7,000 contributors, including over 50 cartoonists. We've always done our best to fairly compensate everybody involved. Our staff salaries have been higher than normal for the publishing industry. We have a generous pension plan and an equally generous bonus plan. All of our staff members get 6-week vacation time every year. We have paid out over $4 million in permission fees to contributors and donated millions of dollars to charity. It is our firm belief that this willingness to share the wealth has produced more wealth than we could have ever produced on our own. Trying to hang on to it all would have just constricted the flow of wealth. 62. There we go. Share around. Thought. That's actually something that I've probably been a little bit lazy in. And it's unusual because when I had nothing, I was giving everything that I had away. And I think my focus has been so heavy on building these investment tools, but to have the impact that I want to have through the charities that I've got. And yeah, maybe there's things I can give to now. I mean, it'd mean that money doesn't go to the tax office, and I think that's a good thing. So, but I was doing these donations to a community kitchen in the area. They feed homeless people, and I used to go there and do it, and I thought it was brilliant. And then I started to question it the longer that I spent there, and I just thought, is this like, is this like rather than teaching a man to fish, you're just giving them the fish so they never become self-sufficient and they're always relying on other people? It almost felt like, I understand there's a place for certain people that just are in a shit spot and need a helping hand, but then there's so many of those people, they just mooch off it. So I would say definitely the majority, probably 80% mooch and 20% don't. That would be the split, probably fairly. And you get really, really upset sometimes. You see some parents come in there with their kids and families, and they're obviously just in a shit time. And I'm sure they could make better financial decisions, but I just feel like there's, yeah, I don't know, maybe there's some other things that can be done. I think the thing at the moment that I'm really passionate about is the just financial stuff, just teaching people basics on finances, having them actually do something. The most frustrating thing is that just most people just don't. They just don't want to take action. They just fucking have all these excuses. It's so irritating. So, like, what do? Do you donate to? Do you hold an event for them? Do you do it for free? No, they don't value it. Like, you got to charge people so they value it. You just give shit away for free all the time. No one cares about what you're giving away. Um, and I get that. Jeez, I never used to. Like, I thought I got it before, but I really get it now. I really get it. I don't know, man. I gotta. Maybe I'll do a competition. I'll send everyone a message and be like, "Look, I'm going to give $1,000 away to someone's favorite charity, and um, just tell me who it is, why it is, and we're gonna pick. I'll pick three, then do a vote in the community. So something, maybe something like that. I think that's a nice thing to do. Um, have the business give it away rather than just pull the money out, which I still want to do. I still want to pull as much out as I can, but um, and have it be tax free. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a bit of a tough one, isn't it? Bit of a toughie. So yeah, yeah, right, yeah. All right. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, but it's a really nice thing. I remember I could barely afford food for myself, and this is when I started feeding homeless people. I used to go into the city and I'd just to go feed people each weekend. And my challenge was to grow my business. So I'd feed one person for every student that I had that week, and it was basically that student feeding the person. And I thought it was kind of I love, it was a very eye opening initiative. I used to be petrified of being homeless, and it got me over that because I got to have a lot of those conversations. I realized it wasn't bad as well. They're just people and they're just in a shitty situation. But also, they weren't really doing a lot to improve their life or anyone else's. They're just sitting there with their hands out. And if you, not, I'm not saying that in a judgmental way. I'm just saying that factually, that's sort of what it was. There are a lot of different reasons behind that. A lot of them were just mentally really fucked up. Um, Other people had medical things that just screwed them, and they didn't know what to do. And others had different addictions and things like that. And others were just super unlucky. But none of them were looking to see what they could provide or give other people. It's just funny. You got these homeless people sitting there with their cups or their plates or their hands out for money, and then you got people like literally 10 steps away playing music or singing songs or doing paintings. And the people that are doing the stuff, their money is like huge. And then you've got these homeless people literally 10 meters away, just not doing anything. If they went and did something, like they'd, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. But yeah, I do need to do more of that. So I'll have a think. Let me know if you're going to give to something. I'd love to know your charities, or if you've got one that you think's really cool and you want me to put money towards it. Tell me why. Convince me, and I'll do it because it's something I need to do more of. All right, take it easy.